finish off this project. I have everything, all the gluing, and I have everything filled on the inside of here, and we'll go through and look at that in a minute. But I want to finish off the, make a closure and just a little something on the front cover. I'm going to leave the back plain, but I'm going to use this brass ring as part of my closure and this leather. And these, I found a whole bunch of these on a wire at a flea market, and I'm pretty sure they're old brass ring sizers. So, you know, just any little found object that you have. You could do one of those policy closures where you put the policy closure here and wrap it around, and then, you know, wrap the string around. But because this is a little thicker, I feel like I need something a little more substantial. So I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to put a little image here on the front. And what I have these left, and left over from another project. So I was going to tell you how I did this, because I'm going to use this one. Sometimes when I'm done after you know, working, I'll just take a piece of cardstock and just collage all the extra papers on here, and then I'll just stick this back. So all I did was, you know, choose a section, cut out an oval, and this one is back with some green paper because these were little tags that I used in another project. So you don't have to back them, especially for something like this. So all that is, it's just an oval and with some collage paper on it, and I just roughly stitched around it so the stitching would match with this. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use on the front of here, and I think I'm just going to use this simple little bird. He's got the bluish greenish tones. And let's see where I want to put that. And I was deciding if I want to, I'll probably add a little bit of the watercolor around him, but I wanted to decide if I want to layer a little something under here, like some cheesecloth or something like that. Maybe just a little something to just give it a little texture. I'm just going to kind of roughly clip around that. Not in any specific form or shape, because you can kind of pull this stuff. I just realized I did not turn on my glue gun. So I guess we'll do the other part while that heats. I meant to, and I forgot when I got out here. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, we'll just sit this back here for a minute. And I want to adhere my little bird on here. Here we go with the whole glue lid thing. Every time I have to turn this upside down so I don't have to wait 5 minutes for it to undo, but then it kind of leaks out a little bit. It's kind of a catch-22 situation. But I kind of like this bird with the little pine branch, so I'm going to put that on there. I think I'm going to situate it down a little bit so that I can put, what did I just do? Oh, I know I have a thing that I kind of spread out some of this glue with. And I'll do a little bit of the watercolor on here. And I want a little bit of the greens too. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of green, a little bit of the darker green here, just around this little area where he's kind of perching, to kind of mimic a little bit of that. For the tree, the pine, the color for the pine. Even though I know if you're up in a tree and the limbs are not there, they're going to be more, you're going to be more into the blues. And I want to do a little bit of blue. I'm going to start with the darker blue. Lightly color. I got a line there. I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to like that. I'm going to try to go around him with all the darker color. To kind of give him a shadow. Don't know how the watercolor is going to react on that, because that's just some really old, like, kids drawing paper, and it doesn't really want to react well on that because that is a slick paper. So we're just going to see what we come up with. I've got a few more of these if I don't like this one, so we'll just see. Wait and see. Okay, I like that. Now I want to go lighter. With some of the lighter blue around that. And I'm coloring super, super lightly on here. You probably really can't see much of it because I'm trying to go super light. Okay. See what happens on this paper here. I'm not really sure about that, how that's going to. Didn't even really show any color, does it? We'll have to maybe darken that area. And this magazine paper, I may have to dry this and put some clear gesso on it because it's not wanting to react super nicely with that. But I do like that really saturated blue around his, around the bird there. Let me try a little bit of the pink area here. You know when the sky gets that cotton candy look to it? Ugh. And it's that pinky, bluey. I think that could be really pretty if I can get it to get it a little darker. I didn't really want that dark, but we'll see if we can kind of spread that out a little bit. Use a wet brush and lift some of that back out. Now let's go back into some of this blue. I'll do that over my paper. See if we can get some of this out. Dry my brush a little bit and see if I can get some of that out. Kind of mix it in. Sorry I'm flipping it around, but I'm trying to blend and I would love a little bit more of this darker blue here. I don't know what this is going to do to this paper though, because this paper is so old and it's got a different absorbency, but that actually looks kind of cool. So, and a touch of that pink down here, just a touch, and I feel like I need another area of blue, some more blue somewhere. I need to balance it out with a little more blue. Okay, let's see. Hold it up to look. That seems pretty good. Let's pull that book back in. Man, I am really struggling today. I've had some additional inflammation. It seems like with all the handling, some of my inking is not showing as well, and I may go back and kind of re-ink this, but I'm going to go ahead and for sure do the cover and this back edge. I'm not going to worry. I don't think I'll worry about the rest of it. Just worry about these outsides. putting some of the ink back on there to get that sort of messy look that I like. You know, I did think too it would be really cool if I put something on the back to hold a little watercolor thing, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to go with that. Let's arrange our cheesecloth back on there. I hope I finish this quickly because y'all, it is not pretty. It's not fun and it's not pretty. Okay. I want it kind of like that. Let's see if our my glue gun's hot. I need glue stick. It's a good thing my studio's small. Don't have to rummage too far. Right side up. Strings out of the way. Okay. Let's see if we can do this or not. Of course the glue stick does not want to work. This will just go through that cheesecloth and hold it on, so I'm not gluing it on. And I am moving it down a little bit because of the closure. I think that's straight. It's about as straight as it's going to be anyway. Okay. Let's move that out of the way so I don't burn myself. Okay, now I want to take this, and I don't know if I need to stitch this on there, like do a couple of stitches to hold it on, but my thought was that I would take some of this leather. I don't know how much I need. Let me kind of gauge if I'm using this like that. I want it to come and wrap around to pull through and tie. That's probably about enough right there. Okay. So what my thought was to get these ends even and just slip the loop through the big ring and then pull the ends through that. To have a loop like this. Like this. And then this loop, which I might could just glue that down. Yeah, I might could just glue that down. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with the hot glue, and if it doesn't work, I'll come back with some E6000 or something like that. I'm going to try it. So let me lay this where I can kind of see the middle of it. How do I want it? This way. Okay. Let's unfold here a little bit so we can see. Yeah, I want it that way. Let me kind of make a center point where I can aim for something, because I'm probably going to mess that up. It just seems like something I would do. So somewhere about right there. I need to aim for about that polka dot right there. I'm going to do it with hot glue, and then I'm going to put a little bit on the, maybe a little bit of the other glue. Ooh. See, I almost did it upside down. I sometimes need a keeper. Okay, and now that I have that down, I'm going to take some of the Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to put it on some of the leather here and glue a portion of this leather down so that that is like double glue there to hold that a little bit. Make sure there's no glue showing. There's my thing. And that way, I think since I've got double glue on there, that'll probably hold, because this isn't going to be like heavy use, or, you know, like if I'm doing a journal or something, I want to really make sure that thing's stuck down there. But I think that will work. Then my thought was that I would bring this around the back. I actually may glue it all the way until it gets to the back because I like the look of that. I may glue the whole thing down. I think that would be wise. I really do. I think that would be wise to glue the whole thing down. You kind of get a guideline. I'm going to see if I can kind of line this up and make a light little pencil ticks to kind of follow, so it's not super I want to make sure that's folded. I'm sorry if I'm pulling it forward. I'm trying to line it up. Yeah, I think I like that with it glued all the way down. That way I don't really have to worry about it, you know? Okay. I'm going to lift one of these up and run a bead. Now I'm going to lift the other one up and run a bead. And I feel like that is, sorry about that, I had that cap in my mouth. I just thought, oh, I'm sitting here trying to talk with that thing in my mouth. I think that will hold that really sturdy. So the front is probably dry now, enough for me to touch a pen to that, and then I'll show you what I was thinking on the closure. That works perfect. I like that. Okay, let's see, pens. Let's get a white one and a black one. I think that's all I'm going to need here. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just going to highlight some of the white areas again. The little portion of the eye. I'm going to kind of go in with some little work to, you know, just highlight some of the white sections of this bird. Not all of them, but just a few. And maybe I want a few little feather lines through here in this gray. Just taking liberties with this little bird to make a few little, this has some really fine feather lines through there. Has some fine ones going up through here. And I think that's good enough for the white. Just a little, I kind of like darkening that little bit around the eye, just to make that eye sort of pop, and that beak sort of pop. And I'll go in around the feathers. There's a dark, this would have been easier to do if I had done this before I put it on the cover. Note to self, don't do that again. Okay. And then this has some little lines down the middle of these feathers. So that gives you a little more highlighting. Kind of down through here, here. His tail, whoops, to differentiate those tail feathers. And I'm even going to go down on his feet a little bit because the little lines don't show up super well there. And I might messy outline the branch just to get a little bit more on the pine cone so you can see it a little better. Put the little pine cone sticky things in there. And I think really that's all I'm going to do to that little guy. I might add a little word or something, a little sentiment there. That's something I like to do. I'll have to look through things until I find what I want. But basically now we are done. This is going to come around here, and I'm just going to pull one of these through this small hole. Like this, and just tie it, but not getting straight leather into the water. And I'm just going to tie it off. And now I have my little keeper for my little watercolor things, for all my watercolor things. So let me stop. I want to clean my desk, and then we'll come back and we'll flip through the whole thing and conclude this craft session. So thank you for joining me. I'll be right back.